Hello everyone, welcome back to a process video. I'm working in my Chicago mini book that I am making for a gift. I've done the front cover already. Right now I think I'm leaving this blank, but I need to do the opening page and I'm going to do that one today and probably the next one on the other side of this. I'm going to try to fit in two. For this one it should be pretty simple. I'm going to use this full 4x6 photo here, and then my plan is to only do down here either letter stickers that say Chicago or a phrase label that says Chicago or maybe a stamp that says Chicago. The goal being something very simple because I don't want to make this thing a ton of work. It's meant to be just sort of easygoing, small, etc. So I'm going to do that. I might do an overlapping embellishment or something here. I don't know. It really depends on what I pick out for the title to go over the water. While I am working on this kind of project, I just wanted to show you quickly. I store 95% of my stamps in these bins. So they open up and then each one opens up again, and then you can fit some back to back or just one set, however you want to do it. I tend to go back to back because I have so many stamps, and as you can see, I have 3 of these that are dedicated to travel. This third one is mostly things that are specific to countries or states, regions, things like that. So I do have multiple sets for Chicago. So I am going to take those out and see if any of these might work to put down here. All right, I have my ink and my scrubby pad at the ready. I looked at both of these, and this Chicago, it seems smaller at first, but it's actually not. It's wider than this one. This one is actually a little bit more compact, even though it's taller. So I think I'm going to go with this one. It will barely fit in there, but I think if I do that, that'll be a good option. Then I just have to figure out, like, underneath that, do I want to do dates or anything? Because there is a spot for date. I had thought about covering this up, but there is a spot for date and things there, so I'm conflicted. I'm not sure, but I'm at least going to start with this. Okay, I did my stamping, and as you can see, I did not get totally full coverage, and I did do a practice run, and I saw that, so I pushed down even harder. I think it's probably just time that I get a new StazOn. I do use this a lot for stamping on photos, and it's probably just old, you know, and I've used it a lot, so I need a new one. But for now, this is good enough, and I like that it makes it look a little weathered, because just the downtown area, you know, it looks a little weathered too. So I think that's okay. I'm not going to fill it in with a marker or anything. I'll just leave it. So I have that. Now I do have to figure out, though, am I going to put dates? Am I going to put an embellishment? Am I going to do anything else on here? All right, since I did that and I like the way it looks, I've decided I'm not going to do letter stickers or dates or anything like that. I'm actually going to use this other set, and it's kind of hard to see, but this stamp along the side says the Windy City, and I think I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put the Windy City directly under Chicago because I like the mix of the size and the different fonts, and I think it's going to look pretty good. All right, I completed that stamping, and I like that as well. So I am just going to attach this here. I did decide to cover that up because I just don't think it needs to be used. So I like this better, that here's the front, you open it up and right away you see that. And I think for now I'm going to leave this completely blank because this is for my daughter. That page could be all for personal journaling, because I don't want to put my thoughts in there. This isn't for me. So I think I'm going to leave that empty. I can always come back and fill it in with something if I feel like I don't need it. So actually, next up is I'm going to go with this page. For this one, I have another 4x6 full page photo, which I kind of forgot. But this is, we arrived in the evening, and so this was when we arrived. So kind of the first thing we saw in Chicago, and it's lovely. So I want to have that in there. So that's going to go there, and then maybe some journaling here, maybe not, maybe some embellishments or something, I'm not sure. But here I have that same issue, full 4x6. Do I want to stamp? What do I want to do? I could stamp on this. I have a gold stays on. No, it's not stays on. It's Memento, I think. No, it's Brilliance. I lie. Let's just pull it out and look here to be sure. It is Brilliance. So I have the Moonlight White and I have a gold one. They look the same. I could stamp this in gold. I could do white if I wanted it to show up even more. Or I could not stamp anything down there and just do an embellishment or something. So we'll see what happens. I wasn't convinced about the stamping, but here's the gold one just so you can see. It's called Galaxy Gold. So I did pull it out, but I've decided against it here. So I decided to go into my ephemera pieces that I have to see what I could use. And I pulled out anything with a yellow tint because of the yellowish hue to the lights here. And these are the two things that I liked the best. I have a little geotag, which I'm planning to put up top. And then I have this, which just says, hey there. And that's kind of fun, but I don't like the end of it. It's too long for this space, I think. I just don't like it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip off part of that and then round the corners, if that works. I have the Creative Memories corner rounder. It might be too wide for this, but I'm going to at least try it. Maybe I'll only cut off a little bit, do a test and see what I think. Otherwise I may have to do it by hand, which I absolutely hate, but we'll see. Well, that didn't go very well. Cutting off a chunk of the end, that went fine. But when I put it in my Creative Memories corner rounder, I think because it was so small, like I thought that it was placed correctly, but when I pushed down on the initial punch, it was so wonky and so weird. It was clear that it had not been placed in there completely straight or to the edge. So I had to do some surgery. Look how tiny it got in order to correct those edges. So now it's going to be very, very small. I'm still going to use it, but it's going to be very small. So I may have to layer something with it. I'm not sure if just having that is enough. Maybe it is. Maybe I'll have to do this and then quickly decide on the other side to see if I like it or not. I don't know. All right, I've decided to try something for this page, and I'm not sure that's going to work, but I'm willing to try it. I have this little piece here, and what I think I want to do is take this stamp that says start here and stamp it right on there. It is the perfect shape and fit. However, because this is a darker blue, I'm not sure how well that's going to show up. The start will, because it'll be on the white, but the here, I'm not sure. This is a digital element, I know, so I could reprint if I hate it or just decide to stamp this without this, but I want to at least try it and see what happens. Guess what? I did a test on here just to make sure the ink was good because this is my Memento one, not as worn out as my Stays On apparently. It came out well there, so I decided to go for it. Look at how well that turned out. I'm super pleased with that. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to overlay it over that line right there. So you will be able to see it a little bit behind it, but I actually like the way that looks. I'm fine with it. So I'm going to attach that next. For the rest of this page, I think I have somewhat of an idea. I'm going to take this yellow pennant here that had been in my stack that I didn't use on this side, and I'm going to put it about there, clip off the end. And then I think I want to take this stamp of the Chicago skyline and put it right over that, and it fits because of the buildings here. So I kind of like that just as an intro to the city kind of thing. And then I still have these empty spaces. I can fill them with more stamping or a phrase label, sticker, something, but I at least want to start with the city outline, I think, and go from there. All right, I did my stamping and it did not come out perfectly. You can see I must have moved a little bit there, maybe a little bit there. I think it's because like this is so soft and it's movable. Like when you put it down, it probably shifted. I probably should have held this down and then stamped, but it's not enough where I'm going to cover it up and redo it or anything. So I'm just going to kind of clip off the end here. There we go. Might even save that. I mean, it's little, but I might be able to use it somewhere. And that's what we have there. Now, one thing I didn't think about is this stamping going to show through? It does a little bit, but when I get to this page, maybe I'll be able to cover that up and you won't notice it. But it isn't that bad. It's a very, very faint outline, so maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave it, and that's okay. Let me think here. I would love to put a staple in there. Maybe I'll pry this up a little bit. Put in the staple and then press it down. Make sure I get it even. There we go. And just do that. Then I get the look of it, but it doesn't go through the other side. All right, so then I just have to figure out what am I doing down here, if anything. So I have discovered something. If any of you are looking to use these books from Everyday Explorers, I'm liking it so far, but I did just discover something. Whatever this paper is does not hold ink the same as other papers because it just smeared. I touched it and look at the bottom edge now smeared, whereas pretty sure it was crisp before. So you really have to let this dry more. Let it soak in to make sure that doesn't happen. Again, this isn't so bad where I'm going to cover it up, but now I know to be extra careful when I'm stamping. When I did my prep for this, hopefully you remember that I had these stickers in there from Pip Sticks, and I think I'm going to use one of the blue ones. It is closer to the blue over here rather than this, but I think a mix is fine here. So I don't know that I want to like triple up here. So maybe I'll take that one and just fill that little space right there. It's a pretty good size fit. So let's see here. If I just put it right, oops, a little bit more centered. How about that? How does that look? Ooh, I like that. And you know what? I think I will leave this blank. My daughter could write something in there, or I think it looks okay actually if it's blank. So maybe that's it for this one. I felt like maybe I did want a phrase over the pennant here, just a skinny one. And I knew I had these. These are from, I actually have 2 sheets. These are from Pretty Little Studio. They're fairly old now. The line is called Let's Go. You might be able to still get it on their website. I'm not sure. But I pulled these out, and I think I'm just going to do this one that says right here. It's very small, but I like it because it's a white background with black font, which is good. It suits the theme here. And I think I might just put it right there. Kind of even with the staple just to bring in another little phrase. I like it. And I think that completes this. So let's see. What did I get done today? 1, 2, 3. 3 pages in here already. So making progress. Thanks for watching.